bear with me, it's not fancy, you guys. It's not all marketed and great colors and schemes. You know, there's gonna be lots of different fonts, but this was the basic because I wanted to go ahead and share the details with you. All right, Chris, I guess we'll start at that first page. This is just a breakdown of some traditional versus digital marketing. As you guys know, digital is the hot thing. It's very exciting, but traditional is important too. And let me stop for a minute, because what I wanted to do is I want to tell you guys a little bit about me and my marketing career. When I was a marketer, I was with the Times Herald, which is Gannett. So it was the nation's largest marketing agency. We do digital and print. So when we did digital, we did everything from PPC, SEO, social media management, review management, website builds, on and on and on. And then, of course, you know the Times Herald as a traditional print. So you know those newspapers, you know the Times, the Detroit News, Detroit Free Press, the Washington State Journal, and all those other big ports or the USA Today fell under that Gannett print umbrella. So why I was mentioning that is because I like to really work on a traditional, I like to work on what I was called was a multimedia account executive. And why I'm mentioning that is because I think it's very important to be on multiple different places and be able to connect with people in different ways. Because the way that you consume media is going to be different than the way Eileen connects media, or that you do, or I do, or whatever. So we want to, of course, hit different people on all the different targets. So just giving a little bit about traditional. Traditional is a lot of times going to be the print marketing, things like this. I went ahead and I put in some examples later, but the things about traditional marketing, some of the pros are: establishes credibility, creates an easier local connection with your audience, it's good for connecting with a broader, more broader audience in the sense that it's not as targeted typically, and helps you connect emotionally. Some of the cons is it's typically very expensive. There's times when I was selling Detroit Free Press ads and it was $20,000 for a newspaper ad. When you could go ahead and you could do you could build a website for $20,000, or cheap, you could build cheaper ones too. A lot of times people don't pay attention to traditional media. A lot of times it's just scanned over. This is another example of traditional media. You're just there within the places, but it's going ahead and putting up credibility into the neighborhood or the local market. Traditional marketing can take a long time to execute, and sometimes it's difficult to reach a sub-segment in traditional marketing. You can go ahead and flip to the next page. Some of the digital is, it's a lot easier to reach a global or a nationwide, a larger audience. It's a lot more measurable. You can personalize it more. It's cost effective. The higher conversion rates. And it doesn't necessarily take your time after you set it. It's already there and out and going. But a lot of the cons is a lot of times is a lot of experience to be able to set up a pay-per-click campaign or Facebook ads or geo ads or anything. And please, you guys, I know I'm just going and I just start rambling, so anything you are wondering about, please feel free to raise your hand really quick. It can be very competitive, and there can be privacy issues. Will you flip to the next one, Chris? So what I did next is I put together a list of some different traditional versus digital marketing. Traditional is going to be the direct mail, TV, radio, newspaper, magazine ads, billboards, flyers, yellow pages, and then digital marketing. It's going to be website designs, social media marketing, pay-per-click, SEO, content marketing like blogs, email marketing, video marketing, digital display, targeted, non-targeted geofencing, and a lot more. Will you flip to the next one? So what I did is I kind of also went into the next thing about traditional versus digital, and then I went into the difference about organic versus paid. I also really quickly this popped into my mind this morning, the idea about earn and own versus rented. I like to think of paid as rented, and I like to think of organic as, bought, earned. Well, excuse me. When I say bought, it's earned. So you're like house, so anyhow, sorry.
Right.
I wanted to have this much more put together and deliver it better, you guys, but you guys know me, so. So organic marketing is unpaid social media posts on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, blog posts, guest posts, people talking back to you, email marketing in the sense of you sending it out on your own and not having to pay for it, and the people that interact on it. SEO is a very big earned one where you start to rank up the Google pages and everything. It's kind of what I was talking to you guys about, how to get on the first page of Google for free the other day. And then online PR, YouTube, paid marketing could be everything from like pay-per-click, social media management, banners, digital display ads, newspaper, on and on. One of the things about organic that I love, it's gonna be a little, well, after you get out there and you've built that credibility, organic is a lot easier to convert than paid is. And of course, you know, most of us want the organic, because when I have someone reach out to me on Facebook and say, hey, I want you to come list my property, I don't have to pay a referral fee to, you know, Zillow or OpCity, or, you know, I don't have to pay $3,000 a month for pay-per-click ads, or I don't need to spend even, you know, $50 on social media ads, or, you know, Core Boost like I use or whatever too. That would be another paid one. So flipping on to the next one. Organic is generated on traffic to your site that you build over the time. I'm sure, Rhonda, you've got a lot of organic, you know, traffic, just in the sense that people know your name, they trust you, they turn to you organically. A lot of other people, when we're new, we're gonna, you know, be doing more paid, because typically you want to get there and you want to start ranking with these people that have already dominated the market in a long time. Another good idea of like organic, this kind of just popped in my head recently, but Dave Simpson, I think, was doing some type of TV, that local American thing. That's kind of a, you know, organic too, because even if there's a paid element, the more that you get out into the community and people start to know your name and everything, they're going to organically think of you. So that was an idea that I brought in this too. I mean, this is not necessarily organic, but the more that you can brand yourself organically to the people and they know your name, it's a good thing. Will you flip to the next one? So this is kind of already what we talked about. Oh, actually, excuse me, outbound versus inbound. So outbound is where like the cold calling is gonna be, your outbound calling. Inbound is when people are reaching out to you. So like when I had someone over Facebook just reach out to me and say, hey, I wanna, you know, want you to come sell my stuff. So they're both important, they're both great, and you can use them in different ways. Let's flip to the next one. So outbound marketing, like banner ads, cold calls, TV ads. The inbound marketing is more of the long form, why we're talking about YouTube, you know, putting your long form stuff on there. So when people start to have a question, they turn to you as the expert, not you just pushing up to them. Social media ads and websites too. This is a lot of the stuff, you guys. I just literally put this together from the website, the internet this morning. So some of this is just kind of from different websites or whatever, so bear with me. And when you flip to the next one, Chris. Also, what I wanted to talk to you really quickly was about a hard sell versus soft sell. Hard sell is a very aggressive tactic where you're like in their face, you're like, hey, buy from me. A soft sell is more kind of like, I'm here when you need to buy from me. I also brought just examples of different stuff that I've done to kind of show you the differences. And I can't say that I've used everything properly or even used it at all, but these are an idea of direct mail, right? Yeah. And then this would be, it's paid, you know, but we can go into EXP Marketing Center and we can get these for free, which is the best part, because you can make up that content for free, and then you do have to go to somewhere like Staples or somewhere to pin it out. But anyhow, this would be more of a hard sell in the sense that I'm still, it's pretty soft, but it's more hard than compared to like idea of taking like a greeting card and just kind of reaching out to someone softly, like, hey, I saw that you had a baby, congratulations. You build that soft touch over the years too. So I get that I'm throwing a lot at you, but the reason why I'm doing that is because I think it's important to be in all these different places at all the different times. It goes back to the omnipresent or whatever, because some people are gonna turn to, you know, places like, I don't know, whatever, I'm getting off point. But this is another point of a different multi-touch marketing strategy. If you go ahead and flip to the next one too, I can show you the next stuff. So what I did on here, and you guys are gonna have this in your email to go ahead and flip through later, it's the consumer purchase journey, where you start up here as someone's never heard of you, now they're aware of you, they may need your services, may not, they meet you, engage with you, and raving fan. When you're getting an OpCity, a lot of times they might never even heard of you, but now all of a sudden they're meeting you, and now you're trying to convert them down into this end. If we can get up here where they've never heard of you, they're starting to get aware of you, if you can hit all these points, it's gonna make you that much stronger in the long run. When you go through these, there's different ideas of how to do it. Community engagement, videos, suburb overviews, when they start to be aware of you through like blogs, videos, property photos, market reports, they may need your services. Now you're moving down into places like videos more. Anyhow, go on and on. But when you get down here into the last part, is the rate and consume. This is usually the follow-up part, because that's where your reviews and everything are coming in as well. And it helps just complete that consumer purchase journey, because now they've been touched at all the different points. And after they're happy along all these different ones, they get down and they're ready to leave you that 5-star review. Most likely they're gonna come back and give you a referral in the future, and now you've created that earned organic loyalty and everything. Would you flip to the next page? So
Great.
thanks. And then this is kind of an idea of just a multi-touch point strategy and how you can hit people through different points at different times and where it's important. This is the awareness, consideration, purchase, retention, and advocacy. So when you're trying to get your name out there and awareness, you want to be, you know, PR, like we do the social media events, like the Lions thing, or you know, Christmases or anything. You can also do radio, TV, print, online, email. This is a lot of times, you know, more expensive to get that awareness out there. So that's why it's great when we can turn to places like social media to get that free content, get that word of mouth, you know, get ourselves out there and about. When you start to get into that consideration, people are typically going to be looking at your reviews. They're looking at, you know, Jamie, they're going to Google, they're typing Jamie DeLugie, they want to see what's there. They're going to find my Google business profile. They're going to find reviews. They're going to start to find websites about me. And they're going to decide, do they want to work with me? Do they, you know, trust me and everything? Blogs, media, direct mail. And then you come over here into the other places where they're wanting to purchase. A lot of times it's more just general, you guys, not real estate specific, but you know, they're a lot of times they are on your website, you know, searching and everything. Come into the retention part where, you know, now you're just keeping top of mind again. You want to do that through community forums, you know, the Port Huron Facebook groups, things like that. You want to do direct mail. Not saying you want to, but it's a way to stay in retention, keep your mind top of mind. And then when you get back into this advocacy place, this is where you now got your social media, your network, your blogs, you know, and reviews in the sense that you gain those reviews and you kind of just keep everyone in that cycle. So this is very general, you guys. It's not real estate related or specific is what I mean. But I'd be happy to, you know, in the future kind of get more specific too. And I'll show you some of that in the next. Would you flip through the next stuff? Later on, you guys can read through some of these sales statistics so I don't bore you to death. But basically sales is, oh, these are some just general ones. I thought I had them all. I have ones next to broken down by emails, calls, and everything. This is just some general stuff. As you know, follow-up is where it typically happens, and it will typically take 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups or different touch points to be able to convert. So that's why, you know, Jay does really great with being able to call and convert right away, but that's just not who I am. I'd rather do something like, you know, have print, and then you take these, you can turn them into reels, you can take these pages and you can just share them on your social media. The point is, we all have different ways that we like to market and what feels comfortable to us, and we like ways that we receive our media. I suggest if you don't like to, I'm saying this within a grain of salt. Like if you're someone that doesn't like a cold caller to call you and you're not gonna convert out that way, you might not wanna prospect that way. I'm not saying don't, but it might not be your grain of style. You know, for me, social media and networking, things like that are just more in my niche. I'm more of a soft seller. So those are the reasons I do that. And then I also wanna throw in some hard sells and some more paid stuff as I can too, or whatever, because once again, like I'm saying, you've got to be in all those different places all the time, and it's very difficult. You could play someone like the Times Herald to spend, you know, you could have companies that do this all for you or whatever. So getting off point a little bit, because I did make up some of these and I don't want to take too much more time. If you flip through a couple more, Chris, these are just things that you guys can read later, and if we're ever interested, and I could tell you more how to run a campaign like that, because that's a whole nother thing, is actually creating it, running it, optimizing it, tracking it. This is not about me, but one of the things that I did do about when I was at the Times Herald, I was Google Analytics certified, so I got very comfortable being able to look at campaigns and know if they're performing well, or how well they're performing, and how you optimize them from there and everything. So I might not have said that perfectly right, because I'm just blabbering at you guys as always, but this will get better in the future. If you guys want a cold call, these are some good things about statistics too. Not telling you not to call on Mondays, but statistically, Mondays and the second half of Fridays are the worst time to call.
That makes sense.
People are angry on Mondays, they don't want to be back to work. I say that, you know.
Friday, you want to get out.
Right, exactly. Okay, so basically one of my reasons I said this is because I think it's very important to have a multi-touch point strategy. You know, be on Instagram, be on TikTok, be on YouTube, be on Facebook, be on LinkedIn, have your website. You know, get your KV course set up, send out email through that. Maybe have some traditional print, like these ones. I started making up your guys's, and since you guys are here, I'll make sure to complete your guys's. But what my thought is too is you could take these ones, after you get them ready, I sent a PDF to you. So now you can take that PDF, you can send it to Staples, and they can print it out to you. What I did too is I started putting your different slides on a Google Drive and everything, so they're gonna have each of these pages individually on that Google Drive. And so this was Amy Gregory's suggestion, is she said also sometimes just take like, you know, one of these pages, put them right on your social media. So you can use it in multiple reasons. We spend all this money on marketing or don't spend it, but basically
You want people to see it.
yeah, you got it, girl. Thank you. Thank you for chatting in, so I don't feel like I'm only chatting with myself. But instead of just putting it here, like in my, you know, binder or whatever, now I'm gonna put it on Google Drive. When I start to get mentioned on like social media pages, I'm gonna start to share that link with people, so then they can start to, you know, play around and see that and see the other content that I build it to. So, what type of questions do we have? I know I just threw a lot at you. It might not have been like, but
No, I think it's great. It hits a lot of great points. I mean, there's stuff that we just get so used to doing that we kind of forget, like that consumer purchase journey. Like that's really good. That's something good to review and look at. So this has been very nice. And like you said, are you a hard sale or are you a soft sale? Like we're all different. We all do it in different ways. But if we can encounter a little bit of all, that would be the most beneficial for us.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Yeah,
You
that's
summarized it so well. That's the way I was gonna say. And that's what I was gonna say. I hope I didn't tell you guys stuff that you already knew, or if I did, at least it was just a good refresher. And my thought was, like I said, we can evolve in the future. But what I'll do too after I get off of this and everything is I did finish up Chris's. I'll send it to you next. I can work on your guys's. Jumping all over the place though is because something I know you mentioned was like you weren't sure about your reviews. If you guys don't have your Google business page, that's something I would definitely suggest. So when they do Google you, you can be there, and then your reviews can be right there. And that's why I was mentioning how important YouTube is. It is the second largest search engine and everything, but also the fact is that Google owns YouTube, so it's gonna prioritize that type of content, and it's gonna keep pushing it up. And so you're getting free SEO when you could be spending thousands of dollars for a media agency to run it for you.
Nice.
So
that's great.
The quick
I
little
love the presentation that you did.
Also, of course, there's a lot of other things that go into marketing about being consistent, and you can see I'm not being totally consistent around the board, but the more you're consistent, the more you have in higher engagement, all of those things matter too. But since I knew I had about 30 minutes and I'm a chatty person, I just wanted to give you some of the basics.
I love it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions or anything I can dive in onto here before I help work on these for you guys?
Just looking at the last two slides.
Yep. I honestly didn't even finish reading through all these. These were just things I pulled from the internet because I wanted to help now make you guys knowledgeable. And I figure you already know a lot of it, but kind of back to this referral too. 56% of sales professionals get leads from existing customers. That's why I wanted to treat those customers well, because then you treat them well, and all of a sudden now they're going to send you referrals, and you're not going to have to pay for Zillow or these other places. Obviously though, you want to do a little bit of everything because like I mentioned, you know, we're all at different stages of it too, because I didn't even go into that about personas, because how a millennial, a Gen Z, a baby boomer, how they all consume media and advertising is going to be different as well.
For sure.
So
I found some reviews too, thank you.
you're welcome.